Nice. All right, we're going live. I think we're live now. So welcome. If you're here, thanks that you're here. This is Learn to Play Guitar Online with Brian Nelson and
Kayla Nelson.
Kayla Nelson, and this is session number 4. Session number 4. So we're going to wait just a few minutes here, let you guys get on. And yeah, let us know how you're doing. Send us a quick comment. Tell us how your fingers are feeling this week. Those of you that are just joining us, maybe for the first time, or you're just hitting session 4 here. Every Thursday night, Kayla and I have been doing these guitar classes, and Kayla's picking it up very quickly and nicely. And yeah, so yeah, she's doing great with it. And I'm not sure what else to say. Did you want to say anything, Kayla?
No.
Okay. We have another minute before we're going to start here. So let's see. I see 7 people here. 7 people in the world are on here. Matt, good to have you on here. Rhonda and Ethan. Yeah, good to have you guys here. No pain, no gain. Yeah, if you're probably feeling it now. How are your calluses? Are you getting some?
I don't know.
Let me see. Yeah, you're actually. Oh my goodness.
Ow.
You got some. How come your fingernails are all blue?
Because I painted them earlier and it failed, so I took them off.
Okay. Well, we're going to launch. Regina, good to have you here. All right. So we're going to launch here and get this thing rolling. Instead of wasting your time, I went back and looked at some of the other lessons, and I was like, I kind of talked for a long time. So I've made my notes. Whoops. That didn't work. I've made my notes. Can you see my notes? They're all my notes. And I've got some new chords that we're going to kind of talk about. So so we're going to launch, okay? So here's just an overview of where we're going for today, okay? The overview is this. We're going to just do a quick review of session 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to make it super quick, probably 60 seconds or less. And then we're going to talk right away about putting all of this together into a song, okay? Like you've learned all the components, and we really haven't taught any songs yet. So I'm going to teach you what is called a chord progression, which just means putting some chords together. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I'm going to give you a couple of new chords. We're going to talk about a brand new rhythm that I want to teach you tonight. It's going to be in 6/8 time. So get ready for 6/8 time. Hi, Cindy. Good to have you here. And then I have a quick life lesson, which Kayla loves my life lessons, right? I'll make it short tonight. And then we're going to teach you a brand new scale. It's actually going to be the first guitar scale you have learned. And it's called the Pentatonic Scale. Penta meaning 5. So there's 5 notes in the scale. And I'll talk to you later about like why we're doing pentatonic and maybe not some of like a major scale or minor scale. Those will come later, but first it'll be the pentatonic scale. All right. So let's just do this quick 60-second review. You have learned a total of 7 chords. Are you okay?
Yeah.
I just about hit her on live YouTube in the face.
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. All right. The first chord was E minor. Remember E minor? Playing E minor. And then we did A sus2. That's right. And then we did E major. I'll back up so you can see more of my guitar. Am I crowding you?
No, you're fine.
Okay. And then here is the A chord. A. Whoops. I missed the bottom note. Missing that string. By the way, there's multiple ways you can finger these chords. And someone said, hey, my fingers, they just don't quite fit in there. And so you can finger it just with one finger holding these down. And skip last note. Or if you get really advanced and you lift the flesh of your finger. I don't do it very well because I'm not used to playing A like that. But, and then we did G. So remember the modern way. So let's play the modern G. Woo! I love that.
There, now now I got it right.
That's okay. That's okay. We forgive our mistakes. Totally good. And then we did our C chord. So keeping your anchor. Remember your anchor? So here's the C chord. Remember that? And then your D chord, the upside down triangle-ish looking thing. Okay? Those are the chords that you've done. And then we taught you this rhythm. Let's do this rhythm. Go ahead and go back to your G chord for a second. Get your fingers on for the G. And remember the rhythm that we taught you, the down, down, up, down, down, up. Try that. 2, ready, go. Go to C. Let's go to D as in dog. Back to C. Good. I didn't tell you that we're going back to the G chord, but that's the beginning home plate chord. And that's how you put a song together. You link chords together. So I'm going to teach you one new chord. And after I teach you this new chord, it's an A minor. Have we done an A minor chord yet?
No.
Super simple. Super, super simple. Once you learn the A minor chord, I'm going to teach you a song that we sing at church that actually has 4 chords repeated over and over. So let's teach you the chord. So go ahead and shape the E chord for me, and go ahead and play an E. You know that chord, all right? All I want you to do is take your fingers and you're going to shift them down on the strings. See how I move that down? And it should sound like this.
Did you skip any strings?
No, don't skip any string. Oh, yeah, you would want to skip. Well, it's kind of nice if you skip this big string, the E string here, and you start here. Yep, that's an E minor. E minor. Okay, so you're going to need to know that chord. And here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to type the chord progression right into your YouTube. So I'm going to tell you, and because if you don't have chat on, you're going to have to write these down. So hopefully you have something to write with. But it's these 4 chords. It's going to be D, A minor, G, and C. You see those 4 chords there? For musical terms, basically what we're going to do is repeat this over and over again. It's called a vamp. Where'd my pick go? Did you see? Oh, here it is. My pick was playing a hide and go seek game. All right, so let me play it first, and then I'll invite you to play along. This is what the progression sounds like, starting on D. D, A minor, that's the new chord. To G. Repeat again. I gave you the wrong progression. I made a mistake as a teacher. So guess what happens when you have a human teacher like me? They make mistakes. I'm going to give you the right progression here this time. The first 2 are right. D, A minor is the new chord. And it's supposed to be C as in cow. And then G as in great, like great. That is the correct one. How about I just delete the one that was not good? Look at that. Boom. Message retracted. Okay, so it should sound like this. Ready and listen. And the new chord, A minor. And C. Is that modern C? Or you can do the standard C. Then the G. All right? And then you do it over and over again. Let's try that together. Here's the D chord, okay? Now, you're going to go from D to the new chord, and this is going to feel a little funky for you. So go ahead and just do a dry run. Here's your D, and then I want you to take your fingers off of the strings, reshape them for the A minor. Now, a little trick on the A minor, it's the same shape as an E major chord. You already know that. It's just all shifted down on the strings. Okay? Go back to your D again. Here's the D. Maybe play that. Shift to the A minor. There you go. That's A minor. Then go to the C. So shift your fingers to the C. And now go down to the G. Good. Let's try this together. We're going to go slow. I was doing a kind of a different rhythm pattern, wasn't I? No, I'm doing the same rhythm pattern that we learned in lesson 1. So let's stick with that down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Keep that hand going as you do it. Here we go. 1, 2, a little slower. 1, 2, D, and go, N. No. Give me a second here. Can we do, let's do this rhythm. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. Say it with me. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Keep going.
No.
All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Down, yeah, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down,
Oh.
down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down. Now I'm changing this really fast on you. So if this is a new strumming pattern for you, it's totally okay. Don't freak out. If you don't want to do that strumming pattern now, you could just go. Kayla's in rare form tonight. You're seeing her personality come out, which I love. It's good. Okay, so you can totally do that. Let's try it. 1 and 2 and ready and D. And A minor. C. G. Let's do the whole thing 2 more times. D. And now we're going to go A minor. Now to C. Back to D. Did I say 2 more times? So this is the second time. A minor. And down to D. Good. I want to point something out that Kayla did that I really love that really good musicians do. And you kind of learn it over time, and she's in band and she plays horn, so she gets this. But she had a wrong chord, and she didn't freak out. And then
Kind of.
a little bit. It was just a little freak out. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 1. And then when she jumped, she like actually kept going in time with me. She just jumped back in when she did. And that's the way you want to approach this. If you're playing in a group with others, it's okay if you miss a note or miss a chord, ghost a thing. You just jump right back in when you can. She did a wonderful job of that. Okay. You too. If you guys are missing or ghosting a couple of chords, that's totally expected at this stage of the game, and you're just learning. The more time you stick with it, the better it'll get. You'll jump right back in. Okay. So here, let me show you. Can you hold this for a second, Kayla?
Yeah.
Let me show you musically what you just played. Those of you that probably spend a lot of time in church circles, you probably already knew what we were playing. But, oh, here it is. So here are the chords, and here's what I've done. I've taken the lyrics out of this. Don't worry about you see here where it says A minor 7. Don't worry about that for now. I can explain later what that is. But notice you play this progression. You play D, A minor, C, and then this G here. It looks funny on the page and not in order because the lyrics have been removed. Well, watch this. I'm going to move my page hopefully to the right place. And here is what it looks like with the lyrics. You ready? Right there, boom. And this is what a typical chord chart looks like. All right. You've got the lyrics underneath, and then you've got the chords on top. Now, for those of you that are music readers already, traditional notation, you'll be like, well, where are the measure numbers and where are the measures and what is the timing? And with chord charts, it's much more of a loosey-goosey feel. It's not going to give you the exact mark of everything. That's why there's a lot of guitar players that just follow along. They listen to with their ear, and they learn the music that way. So let's try this together. I'm going to hold this up, and I'm actually going to let Kayla lead you guys. Yep.
Okay.
So this is like you're doing. This is like you're doing a.
You sure you don't want me to hold it?
Oh, no.
You can play.
No, you're going to do great.
Okay.
You're going to do just fine. There we go. Oops. We're not going to go all the way through, but this is enough for at least you to see. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and ready and D. A minor. C. G. And it just repeats. Sing a new song. A minor. C. C. Good. We're going to stop here because what do you notice about all of the rest of the chords?
They're the same.
They're exactly the same. The whole song. And there's a few songs in church that we do that are like this, that it's just 4 chords, and they make jokes about guitar players because, oh, all you need is to know 4 chords and you can play everything. It's not like classical music and all this other stuff. And that's true for some songs, but there's very few. There's actually a lot. It's much more difficult to play some of these guitar songs. Now, this song, I want you to practice it this week. I gave you the chords. You can come back to this video at any time, and I want you to practice that particular pattern. The pattern that I just kind of showed you. Okay, practice that pattern with this progression. And what you're beginning to do is taking what you've learned, and now you're putting it to use. You're actually doing a song, which is really the direction that we were going this whole time. Yeah? Right, Kayla?
Right.
Okay. We're gonna move on here. Give me a thumbs up on the Twitter tubes, not Twitter tubes, the YouTubes. I mean, you'll have to comment thumbs up or say thumbs up or something. Okay. So we did a song, putting it together. By the way, that's called Revelation Song. It basically is from the book of Revelation in the Bible, one of the 66 books, and talks about the vision of what heaven might look like. So that's what the background of that song is. Okay, we're going to move on to some new chords. And I'm going to give you these chords very quickly this week. The reason I'm going to give you these chords very quickly is because you can come back and rewind this video. Okay, so here it comes. You guys are awesome. I'm going to teach you. Oh, I taught you an A minor. Would you like to know what the? Nah, let's keep going. You want to know what the A minor 7 is?
Ew.
I'll teach you the A minor 7 real quick. This won't take long. So remember, to get to the A minor that I just taught you, you play your E, but you just you shift your fingers down to there. Okay? That's an A minor. Now, to get to an A minor 7, basically it's a color note. That 7 is the 7th scale tone in an A minor. It would be an A minor scale. So what we're going to do is we're going to release one of our fingers. So hold this pattern down, and then you're going to release your ring finger, just like this. Now, you don't have to hold it up real high. Just release it enough, and this is what an A minor 7 chord sounds like. Okay? It's more of a jazzy type sounding chord. And so I'll give you the other progression right here in YouTube. It would go it would go D, A minor 7, C, G. And I'll even put the repeat signs in here for you, maybe. How am I doing, Kayla?
Good.
Thank you for the encouragement.
You're welcome.
I tell you what, let me do one. No, I'll just do that. That's good. Okay, that's what an A minor 7 chord looks like. If you want to this week, instead of playing just the straight up A minor, you can play the A7. Just know that you'll need to know both chords, and the A minor you'll probably end up playing more often than the A minor 7. Okay. All right. Now we're going to move on to the new chord. The first one is going to be an F chord. Let me show you what it looks like.
Oh, that's hard.
I know. This is a little bit of a challenge. How's that? See that? Actually, Kayla, would you mind holding my iPad right there? You may have to set your guitar on the stand down there, and then I will put my fingers down for them. This is what teamwork looks like right here. It's me and Kayla. All right, so you're going to hold that right there. And then here is what it is fingered like.
Uh-oh.
Okay? So you're going to take your index finger and you're going to do something very unique with it. You're actually going to press down to these strings. Not just one, but two. And this time you're not going to use your fingertip. You're going to use the fleshy part. It's called barring. Okay, you're only going to put a bar. It's like putting a bar here. Later, we're going to learn a bar chord where you take your whole finger and do that. That's in session 6. But for now, you're going to go like this. And here's the trick. You actually want to rotate your finger a little bit. You don't want to come straight down. You actually want to move it. Let's see if I can show you like this. You're going to move it back just a little bit. The reason you want to pivot back is look where it puts the rest of my fingers when I pivot back. This is straight down. Okay. When I pivot back, it gets my fingers up and ready to play the next positions that those fingers go on. My middle finger is going to go right here. It is the 2nd fret up on the 3rd string there. And then your ring finger goes on the 3rd fret on that next string, like that. And when you play this chord, you're not going to play all 6 strings. You're going to play just those. Skip the first one, skip the second one.
Like
so skip, kind of like the D chord. Exactly, Kayla. Skip the first 2, start on your 3rd string in. That's the F chord, all right? Kayla, go ahead and hold that up for them again. See if you guys can play that F chord. This one's kind of a tricky one. That's why we saved it for now. See if you can play that F chord. It should sound nice and clean like this. Okay? All right. So that's the F chord. Let's show them the next chord here. So make sure that you go and learn that chord. Stay on the F and do a couple of patterns and then go to maybe this next new one that you're going to learn. This next new one is a D minor chord. You know, hold that for them. D minor. You see how that is shaped? And the way that you're going to do this, there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm going to show you the 2 most popular, okay? So the one way, oops, that's okay. Here's one way. The one way is to play a D chord. So go ahead and play a D chord. Sounds like this. Okay. You can actually take these 2 fingers here, this one and this one, and you can swap places with them like this. I know it's going to feel weird for a second, but then you take your index finger and slide it down. That is a D minor. Okay. It's a sad sounding D. Another way you can finger it is you can use your pinky. Some of you that have different shapes, and this is how I typically do it. I usually let my ring finger float around and not press any strings. And I have my pinky down on the 3rd fret. Okay. So you can, again, one way to get there is to go reverse on your D, reverse and then down a fret, or you can do it like I do it, like this, whichever way is more comfortable. Okay, so you can always rewind this video. Thank you, Kayla.
You're welcome.
And you can do those chords. Let's see how Kayla does with those chords.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention.
It's okay. So here's what I would suggest this week. What you want to do is probably on the F, do something like this. Just to get a feel for it. And then stop, shake out your hand because it's probably going to be sore from some of these chords. And then go to the D minor. Okay, and then try transitioning between the two. So this finger here will actually want to be there. This guy goes here, and this guy goes right there.
Ow.
I know. And then you hit just those 4 strings, not this one, not those 2. Go ahead. She's got it. Now, some of her flesh part is hitting some of the other strings, and that's totally normal. Don't let that discourage you. It's totally doable if you just spend some time with it. Now, I'm going to tell you the F chord is a little less common than the others, and it's a little bit more difficult. But if you can learn how to do that F chord, that's going to help you, and the D minor chord. All right? Those are the 2 chords I want you to learn this week. Spend some time with that. When you get bored with those chords, go back to the ones that you're most familiar with because it'll encourage you. You always need to do the really hard work of rehearsing and then go back and do some fun stuff. Okay, let's do you want the life lesson first or do you want the new rhythm?
New rhythm.
New rhythm. Here's a new rhythm, and then I'll give you the life lesson right after this. Okay, so the new rhythm, this is going to be in 6/8 time. I guess let me go ahead and blow this up because I know we have some music readers here. I think if I go like this, no, I can't. This is in 6/8 time. You see that right there? Oh, let me get a little closer. See that? So the rhythm is going to be like this. Cha 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 cha. And you'll notice, actually, it's not showing up. Oh, there it is. You see the colors of the down and ups. Those light blue ones are actually upstrokes. And that's the real way of notating it for like violins and violas and stuff. And then the downstrokes are the ones that look like hooks or staples, okay? So let me show you how that works. Remember, it's cha, 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 cha. And I'm just going to do it on an, what's the easiest chord for you to do right now, Kayla, out of all the chords?
I don't know.
Give me 1 or 2 chords.
E. Let's just do an E.
E, okay. So go ahead and get your E shape going. And I want you to listen, but be ready to jump in with me. This is how it looks. If you muted your computer, remember, just like when we were in the 4/4 time and I was doing my hand never stops. Same exact thing with the 6/8 time. So a key for all of these rhythms is keep your hand going. Never stop it. You're just missing the string sometimes and hitting it other times. So 6/8 goes like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, play. I made a bad mistake. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just me. Let me slow it way down. Jump in whenever you want. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down. Now, normally 6/8 time is going to have more of like a waltz or a lilting feel. So what we just played there was a little slow. You want to work up to about this speed this week. Here we go. It's about this speed. I'm a pirate on my pirate ship. I don't know what that was. I totally embarrassed my daughter. So, okay, so that's the speed that you want to get to, okay? So I'm going to move on because I got some other stuff that I want to share, including the pentatonic scale. So, all right, life lesson. Put your guitars down just for a second. This is only going to be like 2 minutes. You want to time me? We'll time it by the amount of yawns that Kayla does.
Hey,
in this next
I'm not.
section.
I'm not trying to.
I know it's late and
Not really.
well, we've been staying up late doing hammocks outside and movies, and hopefully you're doing something fun during quarantine like we are. We don't always have World War III at the end of our Uno games, Monopoly games. We actually had a really nice night the other night with hammocks outside and watched a movie. So, all right. So the life lessons. Remember the first lesson that we had in session 1. We talked about you have to forgive your mistakes. You're going to make mistakes in life and in music. You just need to forgive yourself. Other people forgive you too, just like Jesus. Move on. Faithful in small things was lesson number 2, life lesson number 2. Be faithful in the small things because later on you're going to be given more things to be responsible for. And the same goes for music. If you're really faithful in these really small steps here, later on it'll lead to better and bigger things. Last week, session 3, we learned about following instruction, where sometimes you get to a place where you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm still want to listen to instructions anymore. I just want to kind of maybe do my own thing. And it's important in life to listen to instructions from wise counsel, from parents and friends and that kind of thing. This week is, I actually have a chart. Are you ready? Are you excited, Kayla? I'm going to share my chart that I drew.
Oh.
Did you see it?
No.
Okay. So this, the words for this lesson is focus before fluency. Focus before fluency. So you know what focus means, but fluency is basically being really fluent in something like a language, like I'm speaking English right now. So I learned that when I was a child, but if I tried to habla español, mi español es muy bueno. So I'm not really fluent in Spanish because I haven't taken the time to slow down and learn it well so that I can speak it fast. Musically, it's the same thing. Let me show you this chart. Maybe. Oh, where'd my chart go? Okay. Focus before fluency. So on one hand, you have accuracy, meaning you can play something with lots of mistakes. And so when you play stuff to begin with, like that F chord, the F chord was very difficult. So you're going to make lots of mistakes and you start down here and it's not very accurate. But as you play and practice, it's going to become more and more accurate. Now, we have this other category of speed, like the 6/8 pattern that I taught you. And yes, you'll start slow and you want to speed up. Well, here's what a lot of musicians will make this mistake. They will start to speed up too soon, and then they lose their accuracy. Like, for example, they'll play the F chord and they like work and get it. Now the flesh parts of your finger are not on the strings, and now you have a clean tone. And then all of a sudden they're like, let me start doing patterns really fast. And this is what happens. The accuracy starts going down because they're trying to go too far too fast on the speed front. Okay, so what you want to do is actually, when you learn something new musically, you want to start down here. Know that you're going to go uber slow and you're going to be super precise. If you cannot get it super precise, like how I'm talking right now, Kayla, then you need to slow down, get it precise first, then work it up to the precise part, having it right. And then you slowly increase time. If you feel like as you are increasing your speed, your accuracy is coming down, you're going too fast. You need to slow up your speed a little bit. So the rule of thumb is this. You actually want to focus before you become fluent. A lot of people are so eager to get over here that they try to take the shortcut to get there. And so there's actually a verse in the Bible about Jesus in Luke 2:52, I believe, that says Jesus grew in wisdom and stature. So it means even Jesus himself had to grow, and he grew in wisdom and stature. It's the same thing musically, and it's the same thing in life. Like if you want to be a pro yawner, you got to start slow and work your way. I'm just kidding. You're good. So start slow. The only difference between you and me is time. Just don't go too fast too soon. The only difference between me and what's my favorite guitar player? Phil Kagi is probably one of my more favorite guitar players, and he's amazing. Do you know Phil Kagi? Do you know Phil Kagi?
No.
What does it say? What does it say right there on my guitar?
Phil Kagi.
You guys need to go here. Hold on a second.
Oh my gosh.
I know. You guys need to go look up Phil Kagi and see some of his playing. The only difference between me and Phil Kagi is time. If I would just sit down and spend enough time, the difference between me and Phil Kagi, though, is he has probably almost a photographic memory, and he is a very quick learner. I'm slow, and I forget stuff. Okay, moving on. That was the life lesson, okay? Focus before fluency. Don't try to microwave fluency. You can't do it. You have to focus to get there. All right, we're going to move on. We got one more thing to do, and we're almost done, folks. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Pentatonic scale. Can you hold this one more time?
Yep.
Okay. Now, again, you can come back to this mark in the video, all right? But here is a scale that we're going to do. I'll explain this. This is called the pentatonic scale. Pentatonic meaning 5. So the 5 notes, it actually starts here, and I'm going to play this for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the ones that have the yellow around it are the 5 notes of the scale. This one, this guy here, is a passing tone, which I'm going to teach you after I teach you all of the other 5 notes. So we're going to save this one for a second. And then this note, you'll notice, does not have a yellow border on it. The reason it doesn't have a yellow border is because it's actually the same note as this one, just 1 octave higher. Octave, oct means, Kayla?
I don't know. 8.
Yes, you got it.
Oh yeah.
Give it up for Kayla. Oct means 8, like octagon or octopus has 8 legs.
Tentacles.
Oh, yeah, I guess they have tentacles, not legs. Oops. 8 meaning there's 8 notes in a scale, and then it repeats itself at the top. Okay, moving on. Here is how you do the pentatonic scale. And for now, I want you to do this. You're going to come up to your second dot. A lot of you have dots. That actually is your 5th fret. Take your index finger, and I want you to listen once, but I want you to just get your index finger here ready to go. Watch what I do. I probably should do this a little closer. Okay. So remember those skips you did last week where you did, remember that? Okay. So this week we're going to do these skips. This is what the 5 notes sound like. 1, 2. So I'm actually just using these 2 fingers for that. 1, 2, and then I move down to the next string, the A string. 3, 4. Okay, I'm using my ring finger there. Then shift down to the next string, 5. All right, and I told you there was an octave note. To finish the scale, it has to come up to here. So now notice, visualize a box for me. The first part of the box is from here to here. The second part of the box is from here to here and here to here. Okay, so these spaces are the same, but the first one has 4. So let me play it a little bit more fluid for you. Listen one more time, then we'll try it together. I missed it. That's the octave, okay? Let's try that. I'll let Kayla try it. You guys try it right now too.
Oh, okay.
We don't have to do it together. Everyone just try their own pentatonic scale right now. That's it. That's totally it. Good. All right, everyone stop playing for a second. When you practice it this week, what you want to do is get to this speed. Remember what I said about focus before fluency. Don't try to jumpstart this. So I didn't play it perfectly, so I should have slowed down. That was focus before fluency. You can do the same thing. But you want to get to the place where you can kind of do it about that speed. Now, let me show you the magic. If you learn this scale and you learn it really well, this is the quintessential scale for every guitar player because it's the blues scale. All right? Kayla.
Yeah.
Play an A minor scale. Remember or A minor chord. Remember the new chord we learned? She's going to play this. Watch what happens. And I want you to play any pattern you want. And just stay on the chord for me. Don't go to another chord. It could be 6/8. It could be 4/4, but something that I can.
I'm gonna do.
Okay. All right. So you're starting to learn the blues scale and how it would relate to a rhythm player. Kayla was playing rhythm guitar. I was playing what's called lead guitar. And a lead guitar usually does a lot of scales, sometimes parts of chords, but not all of it. And the rhythm player is holding down the fort, kind of the drummer and the guitar at the same time. So learn the pentatonic scale. And you can, by the way, move this anywhere on the guitar. It doesn't have to start here on the 5th fret. If you're like, watch this, watch. Here's the 5th fret. Oh, I threw the color note in there. I'll get to that in a second. I can play it here. I can play it here. I can play it here. In fact, you can play a game with yourself. You're going to get tired of doing it on the same fret. Move it around a little bit. Know this, though. It's much more difficult to play that pentatonic scale down here. Look how far my fingers would have to stretch. And I have to press down real hard because I've got all of the string length. It's very difficult. That's really hard, even for me. Okay? So practice that color note. Can we talk about the color note for a second? It's really like a passing tone, and it just makes it sound kind of fun. And I think you can learn it right away. So here's your pentatonic scale. And when I get to a note, I'm going to play the one note in between. It's actually 1, 2, 3. It's between 3 and 4. So let's call it 3B. It's not a B note. It's just 3 or 3 in between. 3 in between. Let me do that again. I use my middle finger to do the passing tone, like that. Okay? If you learn the scale with that passing tone, you'll do yourself a favor later on, and it's actually a little bit more fun to play. When you come back down, also add the passing tone. Or really really slow. Nope. Okay, so that pentatonic scale, you can start to see it'll morph into more of a blues thing later on, but it is actually blues. So, all right, I think that's it. Yes, Kayla, are we fully? Next week, here's what we're gonna do: a really quick preview, and then we're gonna let you guys go. And if you like the session, comment. If not, don't comment and just get off. Next week, we're gonna learn power chords. What power chords are? We're going to save bar chords for the last session, session 6. I hope you're not sad that we're going to end at session 6, but I kind of feel like that's probably as far as we can take beginners without like inundating everything. So power chords next time, bar chords for the last time. As far as rhythm goes, we're going to do some complex 4/4 time rhythms that are like fun to play, difficult to learn, but fun to play. I've got another life lesson for you next week. And then I'm going to teach you the major scale on the guitar, which it sounds much more happy. That was like the worst. That is etched in YouTube live history forever. Can I do that again? Will you guys forgive my mistake there? There's other ways of fingering it too. So we're going to teach you the major scale next time, and probably go the last session to a 2-octave pentatonic scale. So if you made it through session 4 and you've made it this far, stick with it. You only have 2 more weeks, and if you keep working on that stuff, you're going to be able to play some of these songs and maybe even lead over it as well. Okay. So stay strong. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 7 o'clock Central Time. Anything you want to tell them before we go? No. Please thank Kayla. Oh, Kayla, Regina's like, do you have a one page where all of our learned chords with finger picks? Yes, I can totally do that. And Cindy, I am glad you like this lesson. That is good. And Ethan, yes. The Wii U, that's it. I totally understand. That's all you've experienced for that. So I will put a link again on this YouTube with some of the chord charts and some of the notes, and I'll also put it on the Facebook page as well. It'll be the same both places, but I'll make sure that I get that to you. I should have done that for like session 1 and 2, shouldn't I? I'll probably go back and add those as well. Okay. Hope you guys are doing well. This is Brian and Kayla signing off. Should we wave? All right. Bye, guys. Have a good week. We'll see you next week.